Forrest Gump, directed by Robert Zemeckis, is an enlightening film that has many times captured the hearts and minds of the audience, and understandably has made the AFI Top 100 American Films list. This enlightening story is about a simple man by the name of Forrest Gump who recounts his many adventures of childhood up to now. Many people have fallen in love with Tom Hanks's character, Forrest Gump, because he is a simple-minded man who doesn't care about who you are, who you've been, where you've been. He just loves you for who you are. And that's what makes this character so lovable and so enjoyable to watch. Editing is a crucial part of any movie. According to Looking at Movies, editing is the process of selecting, arranging, and assembling the essential components of a movie, whether it's visual, sound, or special effects, in order to tell the story in a unique way. From editing that is used to create movies in a unique way in order to tell a story is creating a flashback. A flashback is the interruption of a chronological plot time with a shot or series of shots that show an event that has happened earlier in the story. The actual setting of this film is Forrest Gump sitting on the bench waiting to catch the bus. Someone else stops by, sits down, waits for another bus, and he strikes up a conversation. He notices her shoes, which then reminds him about his childhood. He then goes to tell her all about the days he had as a young boy, going into the Vietnam War and meeting another friend by the name of Bubba, and also, after the war, deciding he wanted just to run everywhere. The majority of this movie is a giant flashback, but in the end, he realizes he doesn't have to wait for the bus, but he can just walk 4 blocks to go find Jenny, his lifelong friend. And it continues from that point into real time. But without the flashback, we wouldn't be able to get the quality narrative and the backstory that would have happened if it were just in real time. A great example of a flashback is in the movie Citizen Kane. In this movie, the reporter goes around and asks people all around the town when the last time they saw Citizen Kane, who had just recently died, and they would recount the stories of how he affected their lives or just the last words he said before he died. Another movie would be Little Big Man. This movie is completely a narrative about a man who went back and forth between living with Indians and living with the city. In conclusion, I think that a flashback is a great way to be able to tell a narrative because it just shows the audience what happened before, and it really just sets up the whole movie up to the point to give them a really good idea what's going on, and it just captivates the audience in one of the best ways by showing them just all that happened in the character's life up to that point.